radyo-katipunan. Check out our Instagram and our Twitter at radyo-katipunan and subscribe to our YouTube channel at radyo-katipunan FM for more exclusive content. Lead X. X is for the extracurricular life of the Ateneo College students. X is for the X factor that transforms them into leaders, into men and women for others. X is for Lead X. Lead X. Down from the hill. Cut! Good take! Want to hear our take on all your favorite filmy things? Tune in to Clapback, the radio show for film critics, production news, pop culture, and social commentary, serving as a place for our voice in our cinematic universe. Hosted by the Loyola Film Circle, Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Action!
To listen to music that uplifts the soul, follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. Our music is also available on iTunes and Deezer.
Radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, katipunan, radyo, katipunan, radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, katipunan. Voice of the Eagle kami, di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpa at tama. Buhay atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, katipunan, radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, katipunan, katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, tunong at tulong. Ipag the Blue Eagle, galing giting at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, 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 katipunan, radyo, radyo, katipunan, radyo, katipunan, radyo, radyo, katipunan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good afternoon, Ateneo. We know this week is full of academic work for us because, well, it's the dreaded midterm season. But we're here to get you some fresh air. And as we end another week with insightful conversations, I am Fiona Florentino, and welcome back to Kwentuhang MVP. Hope you're all settled in because we're having a fun project takeover for this episode. Yan, super fun. So as usual, we are coming to you loud and live from our homes via the Facebook pages of Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM, Ateneo de Manila University, and of course, the Council of Organizations of Ateneo Manila. You can also stream us via Radio Katipunan's YouTube channel at Radio Katipunan FM. And of course, we're also coming in via audio streams at any Shoutcast online radio station around the world. So just search for Radio Katipunan. We are also transmitting by the 87.9 FM frequency, so tune in if you are within the 2-kilometer radius of the Ateneo de Manila campus. So to give you all a short Flashback Friday, last week we were able to have a nice and sweet kamustahan with our friends from ACOM who shared with us how their org has been doing and what their plans are for this semester. But another big event that was held the same week was a project held by our very own COA-M. So for the first time ever, project managers from different organizations gathered not only to discuss their common challenges, but to chart and imagine the future of project management together. So this all happened during the recently concluded COA-M Project Management Conference 2021, our featured project for this week. So if you didn't know, PMCon was held last Saturday, March 6th, and was open for anyone who's interested in learning more about how to create impactful projects with and outside their organizations. I definitely regret missing this one. But as a school that can be called org-centric, PMCon was the perfect conference to help members of our beloved organizations have a better grasp as to how they can make a difference through their projects and initiatives. So without a further ado, it is my honor to introduce to you the heads of Project Management Conference 2021, Chriselle Fariñas and Joan Ramos, together with PMCon Secretariat Head Anton, Bacani, and PMCon Facilitator Cassy, Valencia. Welcome everyone. Hello, and welcome to Kwentuhang MVP. Thank you for being here with us. So before we start, let's have a little bit of kamustahan, a little getting to know each other. Because I've definitely never met any of you before. So first, kindly introduce yourself to everyone who is watching and listening to us today. So just state your name, year and course, and position in PMCon. Let's start with Chriselle, and then you can just call someone else after you.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Chriselle Fariñas from 3AB Psych, and I am one of the project heads of PMCon. And I'd like to call next my project head number 2, Miss Joan Ramos.
Hi, I'm Joan Ramos, the other project head for PMCon from 2AB Development Studies, and I would like to call Bax.
Thank you, Joan. Hi guys, my name is Bax. I'm currently in 3BS Management Engineering, and I was the Secretariat Head in PMCon. So, Cassy?
Hi, I'm Cassy. I'm from 1ABIS, and I was a PMCon facilitator.
Nice meeting you guys for the first time. Best ko yun si Cassy. So how have you guys been doing? How are ACADS and everything else? Anyone can answer?
Yeah, okay. So for me, happy that it's finally Friday. Kinda done with what I have to do for the week. Ayan, go friends.
I can go next. For me naman, a lot of things are taking up my time lately. There's ACAS, there's internships, and then a lot of org works. Pero kinakaya naman. Yeah.
For me, it's like sort of midterm season, so it's quite busy, but been making time for a K-drama, so that's good.
I guess for me this week, it was like a rest week for me, but I'm preparing myself for next week, which is pretty insane. But I'm doing well.
I feel like that's a common theme for especially this second sem, no? Just hanging on. But yes, so how do you feel now that PMCon, a project that you've worked hard for, is now finished? Go ahead, Joan, and then call someone else na lang after you.
Okay, I think it goes for any major project. You sort of come from a high, and you're trying to process the fact that it's already done. But at the same time, like, I think I could speak for a lot of people from the core team as well. Like, we really learned so much from this event. And so I'm also trying to process all of that information so that I could bring it to other projects and other experiences.
Call someone after you.
My bad. Okay, maybe see Chriselle.
Same as June, I still feel the PMCon high, but I guess I'm really happy as well that the project turned out to be a success. And yeah, how about you, Cass?
I actually also worked on the creatives for PMCon, so it was super exciting to see how like the project grew. Because I wasn't completely there during the planning stage, but when I facilitated, like I saw how insanely well it was executed. So yeah, man, like I'm super happy about it. Like one of the things that I can't stop thinking about, like in terms of my excitement with COA and everything.
Yeah, for me naman, I think a few days ago I checked the evaluation forms from the participants, and it made me so happy knowing that they enjoyed the 1 day conference. So for me, that's actually a huge achievement now on the project itself. So yeah, I feel very happy.
Yeah, and congrats, guys. I bet it's super fulfilling. So what are you looking forward to naman the most in the following months of this semester? Anton, you can go and then call someone after you.
Okay. What am I looking forward in the next coming months? Maybe I'm about to finish my internship in a month na rin. So maybe after that, I'll try to tone down a little on my commitments. Maybe rest, kasi sometimes resting is actually a productive thing. So you guys need to rest then every now and then. Maybe also focus on ACADS ulit. I think some of them are focusing on midterms. In my course naman, we don't have any kind of midterms, but then it becomes heavier um, come finals week. So yeah, that's what I'm preparing for now. Yeah. Do I call on someone else? How about you, Joan?
Um, as for my home org, we've been focusing on this really on our flagship event, the Philippine Development Youth Congress. So we're definitely focusing on that. And aside from that, I'm also very excited for COA's future projects. Yeah, like I can't wait to see what COA has in store. How about Cass?
I guess I'm looking forward to Holy Week, which is coming up. It's a solid rest for everyone. And also, right now, I guess after PMCon, which was like in creatives, like that was my main thing for a time. I'm excited now to like for the rest of the projects that I'm deployed to in COA, which is are pretty long term. So yeah, and other than that, like school, like finally getting to the medyo end part of it, like end part of third quarter. So that's what I'm excited for. See you, Chriselle.
Same. Looking forward to wrapping up ACADS really soon. And one of my other org projects as well is about to end, which is Lights for Hope, and it's a year-long thing. So I'm very excited as well for that.
Ayan. So I think that should be something we always have to remember what to do. Just take a step back and rest. But yeah, I'm looking forward also to a time that we can all just rest without feeling guilty. So let's move on and talk about your project PMCon 2021. So thank you for sharing your like how you feel and with us. So we've been mentioning PMCon quite a lot, but we're still not fully knowledgeable about what it's truly about. So surely everyone here is curious as it seems to be something you are also passionate about. So now let's all get to know more about PMCon 2021 and how it came to be. So can you share with us what PMCon is in general and what happened during the event? Chriselle or Joan or anyone?
Okay, I can take this. So basically, PMCon is a 1 day event wherein we invited different project managers, project heads, along with committee heads to come together and discuss their best practices along with the common challenges that they face in their org projects. So to give siguro a brief like overview of the structure of the event. So basically we had speakers, so we had two plenary sessions. And we also had breakout sessions where there were two of them as well. So yeah.
So what did you aim to do through this project and what were your main goals and objectives?
Okay, I can take this question. It really was more of getting all of the project managers present in the event to be more or less on the same page and to make them feel like, hey, you're not alone in navigating this process, most especially with the transition from on campus to online projects. That definitely was something that I think we all were struggling with, and this event was really a great place to really get together and talk about the common problems as well as the unique issues that we came across according to the context of our own orgs and projects. So it also it also was a space to create some sort of like solution according to the context of the project. Yeah.
So yes, definitely during this digital shift has led all of us to be like we're just like winging it. We're not used to any of these, so it's really great that you guys are able to reach out to these project managers and just like reassure them that like you have someone else, you have all these people who are going through the same thing as you, and you have guidance. So do you think you were able to attain these objectives for PMCon and its delegates?
Okay, I can take this. So, probably Cass has more input on this, but as one of like the observers in one of the breakout rooms, it was really nice to see that even if the participants came from different org backgrounds, they were really open in sharing. And it was also interesting to see how they learned from one another. And it was I also noticed, which made me really happy as well, that as early as the breakout room sessions, they were already sharing stuff about what they learned from our speakers. So it was really nice. And even after the project, there were some delegates who reached out to us and asked about the different materials and things that we use for PMCon. And they said that they were planning to apply it to their respective organizations. So I guess I would say that our objective really was achieved. Mm.
Can I add konti lang on that note? Same with Chriselle. I'm one of those members or core members in the project na weren't even part of the breakout rooms because we're just in the main room waiting for them to return. So I didn't know what was happening in their discussion part. But then as I was watching the speakers during the plenary sessions, I too learned a lot of how to handle projects because I was there also. So maybe in a sense that it was a win-win being a core member in PMCon because you get to handle the project and at the same time learn from the speakers because you're part of the event. And if I am a participant na mag-evaluate in this project, I would say I learned a lot pa rin, even if I just listened to the speakers and not even participate in the breakout rooms. So I think Cassy can shed light on what happened in the breakout rooms.
So, ayun nga, during the breakout rooms, like, I agree with Bax, honestly. Like, overall thing, I feel like I learned more as a freshie facilitator than most of the PMCon people. Like, the delegates, they really knew what they were doing already. And, like, if we're talking about objectives, I feel like we did succeed in making them feel like they could relate to each other. Because when I was taking down notes, it was basically the same thing. Like they were saying the same thing. Kasi nga, being in the online setting, it's harder for you to do a lot of things that like turn the orgs into subjective orgs. Like it turns like everything is still unique, but at the same time, the process it's not that different from each other na. So yeah, like in the breakout rooms, I remember one of the participants actually saying na like it was so new for him as a project manager to actually learn um, something that he was lacking. Like he felt like the talks really helped him open his mind up to how he can handle his members. And I feel like that's like a big success indicator na a bunch of people who know what they're doing because they're really good at what they're doing found new ways to serve better for their org. Get so like it was really like an eye opener for everyone, and I feel like they did learn a lot. Like yun nga, like Chriselle said, there were people who reached out asking for yung materials that we made like in the breakout rooms, and they said that it was really helpful. Kasi in the breakout rooms there were like 3 to 5 participants, and parang we made format for how they would handle their projects, right? So it was like what Enzo would call a skeleton for their projects. And basically, they worked on that together. So yung collective input nila, it really helped like them put into perspective, like, oh, nga, no, these are the steps that they have to take, and these are the steps that they have to make sure are completely done for a project to be successful. So yeah, like I feel like they did learn a lot. I learned a lot like completely. Like wow, super info overload, pero and super fun experience. Well, Joan, does he have anything else to say para to add?
Okay, so yes, learning is something that I think this just never stops. It's endless, and you just have to look for avenues for learning, and it's great that you guys were able to provide that for these project managers. And so, ngayon I'm just like, sayang di ako nag-pass me for this, but so we're all thinking like for a project that is so success that's reached a lot of success, we're thinking, how did you ideate and plan this project, and what inspired you to have a project like this?
Okay, I think I'll take this question. So it really started around December-ish, as far as I was aware. So I think majority of the credit of the whole concept of PMCon really goes to the VP of Special Projects, si Enzo Pisig. He just messaged out of nowhere and said, hey, what if we have like a conference for project managers so that they could talk about the different issues in the process? And I thought, okay. Like, I don't think I've ever seen an event like that or tackled anything like that. And siguro later into the ideation process, I thought, what if the participants or the delegates of this event like make like a module or a framework that they could bring back to their org? And Enzo was like, yes, that's hot. Yeah, let's do that. So it definitely was, it transitioned from this like lecture style event to this very interactive exchange of ideas. And that was really an idea that we were so excited about. And I think it's also because, you'd hear people talk about how difficult it is to really execute projects right now, like for very different reasons. And a lot of the times you'd try resolving these issues based on like the leadership culture or the leadership frameworks that you learn from your own org. So it's mostly confined within those particular contexts. But given PMCon, like we thought, trying to bridge like these different sectors and the different kinds of projects and different kinds of orgs that really view project management in different ways. Like it would be so cool to really talk about like the ways that they tackle project management. So ayun.
Solid talaga si Boss Enzo, big brain. so, so did you face any setbacks, like specific setbacks or challenges in planning and making PMCon happen? And how did you manage to overcome them?
Maybe I can start for this one. So our main challenge really was that this event was something that we're doing for the first time. And I guess what really helped in that challenge was the fact that it was really close, not just to us, but also to the whole core team, since all of us experienced somehow to become like project heads or committee heads or project managers in general. So I guess really in terms of planning, what helped us a lot to overcome this challenge is like really drawing from experience and providing insights on what can we discuss and all of that. So yeah.
I can add naman. On the perspective of the secretariat team, one of our worries for the project was that the turnout of participants would be like not that um, expected. Na we were worried baka may 10 lang mag-apply, and then we wouldn't think that it's gonna be a success because only 10 applied. But it was good naman that there were more than what we have expected. It has been very fruitful. What we did to make sure na people would be enticed to apply is that we made the application forms very neat lang, orderly. And then I think the hyping of the project was also good. Like a quick shout out dun sa PM is Key na Facebook group. So that's where project managers come together. So that, but it's a more discussion based PM con, if you put it simply, yung PM is Key. And sila Enzo din nag-isip ng initiative na yun. So I think the way we marketed it was very okay. I think it helped given our project was a first time pa lang. Hopefully this would continue to to become an annual thing na.
So you mentioned earlier that you guys learned a lot. Like this was a great learning experience for all of you. And so what are these learnings that you had about project management and the org community through executing this project?
Maybe I can start with that. Basically, since being a freshie and I'm in the creatives department, so it's not really a big thing to like project manage an entire thing or an entire big event. But I guess in terms of learning, I learned everything, like all the basics and basically what it meant. Like I feel like I got super lucky facilitating for the event talaga because I don't, yeah, Fiona, I told you to join me eh. Ayan. Yun nga, like it took me like a while afterwards to process everything that happened, and I was reviewing like yun nga yung skeleton that we made. But I feel like the biggest learning that I got was or something that I didn't think of before that like eventually was shown to me by the people in my breakout room was that you have to have an initial vision talaga. Like you have your core team, but as a head, your vision has to be feasible. Like when you're thinking of your vision, to include your core team into your vision, you have to understand what you can do and what you can't do. But your core team, like I asked them, like one of the questions that I asked them, na I was just curious about because we were talking about how they manage their team. Because during the breakout room, we had two parts. The first part was just discussion, and then the second part was basically yung creating the format. And during the discussion, I asked them like, would you prefer that during the ideation phase, would you prefer that your team is the one who's giving ideas or like with you, or would you prefer that it's your vision and then your core team is there to help you execute that as per what your vision looks like? And then they said rin na like having the skill to implement your vision and having the skill to tell if your vision is good or not. That's like one of the biggest things of becoming a project manager. And I feel like that's the biggest learning that I took from them, Ren. Other than that, it's also how to handle your team, like how to make sure na your team's super taken care of, they're not being burned out and everything, and that they're like to make sure that they don't feel like they're obligated to do things, but like rather they feel passionate about the project. So yun. Like I also heard from one of the orgs that they have like an in event mentorship. So like how orgs they have mentorships and everything. But then per event they have a mentorship. So that I feel like that's a big thing. And like that's such a good idea. Not to especially for us freshies, we're very lost. Like it really it helps the members not go astray with everything that they're doing. I feel like honestly, the project managers who joined, they were I feel like they were so excited rin talaga to meet the other people who were fixed in the online setting. So like the conversation really flowed naturally and they basically said almost the same things. So yeah, like I guess project managing it's just really parang it's a skill but at the same time like it's really a passion that you have to have. And so that's what I learned from the 5 hours of the conference. So yeah.
So what about from the people behind this project? What significant learning did you gain?
Okay, maybe I can start. So on a personal note, I'm not really the type of person to be BS org active and all of that. So I guess I would say that this project was really my first time taking on a major role. And through this, I learned really what the whole process of project management. And aside from that, hearing the experiences and insights of the different participants of PMCon, I also realized that um, our community is really trying its best to still keep the org culture alive in Ateneo despite the challenges that we're facing right now. And although they shared some common challenges, so one of it was really in terms of transitioning a project. And although there were common challenges nga, I feel like through this project, we were able to see that it is more bearable or it can be overcome if through collaboration and sharing of each other's experiences and best practices. Yeah, that's for me.
On that note naman, I think I can say then na I agree with the comment ni Chriselle about the different org PMs keeping the org culture alive, because what we did when we assigned the participants or the delegates in breakout rooms is that we don't want them to be in the same breakout room as their co-org member. So we tried to make it as diverse as possible. And I think it went pretty well because my fear before was, oh, baka they're not very too open. They'll be closed off to share their ideas and problems about their orgs because it's their orgs problems. But it's nice that they're very open with sharing it to the other project managers. And I think that helped with the discussion on how it became fruitful and insightful during the discussions. So yeah.
As for me, I think like the biggest takeaway was really um, like member development. I think that was the topic that really resonated with me. Like a lot of the times, like for me personally, I'm very in the background sort of org active member. So the like the PMCon, like the whole like all of the topics that PMCon covered really gave the foundations for making such pivotal decisions for your project. Something that I'm not really used to making. And even in the actual process of planning PMCon, that was like one big learning experience. And when it comes and like back to member development, it really isn't all about just focusing on getting your project done and having it be successful. Like the participants that you market the project to, they aren't the only people who are on the receiving end of your project. It's also the people who are working on the project. Um, so ayun, like I never realized how big of a responsibility it is to make sure that everyone is engaged throughout the entire process, making sure they feel like they're taken care of, and that the planning process in itself is a learning process.
Ayan. So yes, it's really surprising the things that we're able to learn when we're taken out of our bubble. Especially now, it's hard to see each other. We feel more isolated within our orgs than ever. So it's nice that you guys were able to open up, like avenues for people to collaborate and to participate. And so should we expect another similar project to PMCon this year or next year? Or do you guys recommend holding another PMCon? I expect you do.
Okay, so to share, right after PMCon, so we had this short post event debriefing. And like naghihint na sila na ano PMCon 2 daw, ganyan ganyan. So for sure, this is definitely not the first. This is definitely not the last. And aside from that, as far as I know, COA is planning to hold a conference soon, but for HR people naman. So stay tuned for that, everyone.
Ayan. So, okay. So, next PMCon, noted na. Sign up. So, that's great to hear, PMCon, Miss Julian event that was very much needed in our society, in our org community. And especially that we, who are like trying to traverse this weird setting of the digital, we're looking for ways to how we can serve and make a difference despite the limitations that we are given right now in our own ways and to pursuing our passion. Given these, we would like to know more about you guys. We've talked about your project, this wonderful, genuine project that you guys spearheaded. Let's talk about you guys as org members and your individual journey before, during, and after PMCon 2021. So before PMCon, what activities have you been up to? And they could have been personal, academic, or organizational, whatever it is that you've been getting yourself busy on. Let's start with Cassy, and then just call another person after you.
Okay. Well, before the event itself, I had the creatives for it, which that took a lot of my time talaga for like a solid few weeks because it was a new art style. Like I'm really into vector art, and this time I actually had to draw, and that was such a new experience for me. Like I finally broke into my iPad that I haven't been using for like mga 2 months na. But before PMCon talaga, it was more of yun nga, creative work for COA. Other than that, keeping up my grades, I guess, because I think a lot of us can agree that third quarter is something else. It's really something else. Like the workload, it's like you can't compare it to the other quarters. Um, Personal endeavors, I feel like just working on resting, like stressing myself out at least only once a week, and then resting for the rest, like really finishing everything on like at a certain time frame. You know, that's pretty much it for me. Bax, what have you been doing?
Ano ba? What have I been up to lately? Let's start with ACADS na lang. I'm not focusing on ACADS, TBH. Sorry. Pero yeah, ano naman, I study every now and then, mga 1 hour per day. Also, profs, don't at me po. Don't cancel me. Pero, I try to balance naman din. Pero good thing my classes, I mean, the subjects that I have this quarter they're majors, but then most of the time I just need to catch up on the videos, so I don't have to attend the synchronous classes kasi I'm still medyo delayed from the modules. So I'm gonna catch up na this weekend. And it's good naman because I was batch 1, so I got good classes pa rin. So in a way, I don't think I'm gonna fail, hopefully. So yeah, that's for my ACADS. And then org-wise, in my other orgs naman, I have different positions there. So medyo chill because it's almost the end of the term. So we're just maybe focusing on transitioning, and then come elections period, yeah, that's when we finally end our term na. So I'm looking forward to resting then. Personal time, the way I de-stress from all of the work is just by playing Valorant, but then I'm not good, so don't play with me. Pero yun, I just play with my friends. So if they're watching this, alam nila na I'm not pretty good at it. So yun, who else? Let's go with Chriselle. Sige.
Hello. Okay, so before PMCon, wala lang. Wala akong direction sa buhay. Joke. Wala. Naghahanap lang ako ng memes, mga ganyan. And I was also a part of Kwentuhang MVP. So, hello, Kwentuhang MVP. Thanks for having me today. And aside from that, I also had org work from LFH and my home org, Psyche. And academics, sensitive topic. Joke. Pero yeah, academics trying naman. Ayun, sensitive topic. Yeah, how about you, Joan?
Hala. Academics wise, it's obviously a heavier sem for most of us. But I've been trying to enjoy the lessons and the modules. Hindi naman sa napipilitan ko yung sarili ko like to put on a happy face, but then I really do try to put myself in the disposition to enjoy what I'm learning. I mean that obviously takes up more time, but at the very least, like I feel like something's happening in my brain. And org wise, like I never really was the type to juggle more than one project at a time because I usually just focus on my home org. So working on COA alongside like my home org's projects definitely was like a new experience. And ayun, like, I don't know what else to say, but it definitely tested my time and energy management skills. Yeah. And then in the personal aspect of life, I've just been like binging videos of 17, the K-pop group, if you know that. So shout out to mga karat dyan.
Ayan, so Kapit lang guys, gamit tong second sem. Let's all follow the 5-1 rule. Study 1 hour, rest 5 days. So, so before PM Con naman, joke lang, joke lang. Before PM Con, what activity, sorry. Talk about your COA-M journey. Let's talk about our COA-M journey. So, what did you apply? Why did you decide to apply for COA-M? And how has the experience been like so far? Let's start with Chriselle.
Okay, so like what I said a while ago, I'm not really the org active type of person. So parang sabi ko, okay, new year, new me, ganyan. Try tayo new things. And actually applied because of one of my friends. Shout out Kian Abalo. She's also a part of SP. And so far, it's been really great. It hasn't been a year, but I already learned a lot. So no regrets. What about you, Bax?
Sa akin, it's a funny story naman. I don't know if it's gonna be funny in your end, pero natatawa ako knowing na si Enzo, he messaged me. He's the VP for special projects, and he said, "Oh, Vax, do you wanna be do you wanna get a position ba under a certain committee for another COA project?" So sabi ko, feel ko mukhang heavy yan. So maybe step down muna, baka mabigat yung pagiging head dyan. Tapos sabi, oh, how about PMCon? It's a new project, and he explained to me what's happening and what's gonna happen. And then I said, okay, may I know the timeline? And then he said na ganito until March siya. Sabi ko, okay, sige, parang kaya naman siya. And then he asked me, oh, anong gusto mong committee? And I said, Rec-and-Sec, syempre, basta kapag COA, Rec-and-Sec tayo kasi I love making forms, G-sheets, ganyan, sending emails. And then, ang funny part dito, because there's an inside joke na whenever I apply for projects, for positions sa COA, on a certain project, I always get paired up with a certain person. So shout out kay Ella dyan, Ella Cruz. Twice na kami naging sec head. So feel ko sawa na kami sa isa't isa na we know how to salo na lang. Whenever someone's busy, the other knows na, okay, sige ako muna gagawa. And then if you need help, just message me. For sure naman, we're gonna have free time naman to work on it together. So yun, that's my journey. I would say that I applied because I remember telling Enzo na, okay, sige, put me on a certain committee there. Pero dapat second. So sobrang sabaw. Pero yeah, that's it for me. How about you, Cassy?
Fiona. Kasi, so basically, it was, so being a freshie, it was intercession for you guys. And I don't think I was enrolled yet when I applied for COA. I was like, wait, this is allowed. So I messaged COA FB. I don't know if si Ma'am Kiki nag-reply sa akin or something. But so like, I asked like, so I'm an incoming freshie, can I join? Because I was really interested in it. Like I was, so yeah, like finally entering Ateneo. Ateneo is my dream school. So like the first thing I did was like, okay, I'm gonna look through all the orgs because I'm excited. Like I want to be org active and everything. So like I was like, oh, what's COA? And then COA is not an org, but okay, parang fun. Sige G. And then I messaged Fiona. I was like, Fiona, look at this. Parang fun. Parang let's go. Tapos yan. Sumabay naman si Fiona. Yan, ang rupok. Pero basically, yeah. So when I had my interview, I applied for 2, which is the media and creative cluster, that one, and then after that, OVPCC, and then I was kind of leaning into the other cluster, not OVPCC. Hi, Antonina. Ayan, like basically, it's because I didn't know the whole what it was. So like, you know, the media and creatives, that's the path that I want to take. So I was like, okay, like this will be fun. But yeah, I feel like it's such a blessing that I'm in creatives right now, because actually like the biggest thing that I got from COA is like how much I love creatives pala and how much I enjoy the work. Like even though, okay, like so shout out to my friends there. Like if you guys hear me complain about guys 4 a.m. na nagdo-drawing pa rin ako, I love it. Like I super love it. Like the thrill of knowing na the team that's like mentoring me is super duper like welcoming and loving. Like sila Atenina, sila Kavi, sila Ann, sila Ego, like the AVPs and yan, like super like they really help you. I remember one of the first times na I got to talk to all of them. I just asked for Ate Nina's help. And then biglang one by one pumasok na sila sa Zoom call. Tapos naka-share screen pa ako habang nagpo-photoshop. So nanginginig ako kasi parang freshie. Tapos parang sino to? Ayun. So, ayun, like, I love Koa so much. Like, I'm probably super active, like, here the most. Like, no regrets at all. Having fun. Also happy na my bestie's here with me. Also, we dragged along our other friend, si Chachi. Shout out kay Chachi. So, yun lang. I'm good. Chriselle. Sorry. Wait, no, you already shared yours na. Si Joan. Okay.
For me, I was pulled in by a friend, si Gapus. Like, all he said was, join COA-SP and I'll put you under this project that I'm planning to head. And I thought, okay. And I originally wasn't accept because ayoko talaga mag-birth sa orgs. I was very org active ever since org culture was like something that I knew about. So I was gonna know initially, but then I thought, like my whole org life, I've only been doing creatives work. Like that's all that I ever did. So I wasn't really exposed to any other I oh my gosh, dinig ba ako?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you're audible.
And then that's when I realized, oh my God, sobrang sabaw nila, but in the best way. And it was so easy to like work with all of them. It wasn't like 100% profesh na like di mo na alam kung ano sasabihin mo sa mga GC or whatever. And as an introvert, I really appreciated that. And yeah, like everyone is so easy to work with, and I don't see myself like leaving COA anytime soon.
Let's all thank our our achieving friends for pulling us into COA. Yung mga reluctant pa dyan, kailangan nyo lang ng medyo ambitious na friend para ma-introduce kayo to a new world. But yes, so for Joan and Chriselle naman, surely you guys know the challenges of heading a project. What made you accept these and accept these when you took the role of becoming PMCon's project head?
To quote Mr. Zach Gapos, I wanted to take on new levels of exposure. Joke. Kidding aside, yeah, yun nga. I really wanted to take on new levels of exposure, and the whole concept behind the project was really interesting to me. Personally, I know that I still have a lot to learn about project management, so it was really a no-brainer for me to accept the role, since I know that this will not only give me new experiences but also make me learn a lot in the process, which now that the event is over, I could really say that I learned a lot. Yes.
For me, like, okay, first of all, how do you say no to Enzo? And second, like Chriselle said, like new levels of leadership, exposure, etc. Like like nagtataka talaga ako nung tinanong ako ni Enzo, like, sigurado ka ba dyan? Because I've never, like, really headed an entire project. Siguro pwede committee pa lang, pwede na. But, like, as opposed to, like, a whole event, yeah, that wasn't really, like, familiar with me. But I'm really glad I took it because Enzo also said, oh, you won't be alone on this. You'll be heading the project with someone else, and her name is Chriselle. And I was like, okay, G.
Again, for Joan and Chriselle, what did you love the most about being PMCon project head? And what is the one thing you will never forget from your experience as a PMCon project head?
Okay, I can start. So maybe I'll share something first about like the things that I won't ever forget from PMCon. So something na hindi muna serious. So kasi during one of our brainstorming planning dry run sessions, so nagdi-discuss kami ganyan-ganyan. And then out of nowhere, may nag-play ng TikTok. Tapos yung audio, "Are you ready to pray, classmates?" Tapos parang ako, ha, ano
nangyayari, ayun, shout out, itago na lang po natin sa name na, Mr. Anton Bacani. Siya lang naman yung nag-play ng TikTok. So yeah, that's something I won't ever forget. That was really fun. But okay, aside from that, another thing that was memorable to me was the fact that even after the project, there were people who reached out to us asking for the things that we used during PMCon, clarifying the things that we discussed during PMCon. To share like a short story siguro, one of my friends joined PMCon kasi, and I guess I would say it was really like perfect timing because right after PMCon, she's starting her stint as a project head and she's also a first timer. So it was really nice because she messages me from time to time asking about things that we discussed in PMCon. So that's something that was memorable to me. And what I love most about being a project head, probably it was the position that allowed me to interact with the most number of people. So I didn't get to interact with just the heads. I also got to interact with the heads as well as with the team, as well as with the delegates. And as someone who barely has experiences in terms of org work, it was really insightful for me and it was really fun because I had a lot of takeaways from being part of this project. Yeah.
For me, I think I'm more or less the same answer as Chriselle. As a with the not so serious side, I really appreciated this one core meeting that we had where the icebreaker was just to send like 3 memes that represented your week, and kami nga ni Chriselle, like we were like the resident meme collectors. And so, ang daming addition na sa collection namin. So, thank you, core team, for all of your contributions there. And I also really love the fact that no matter where you were in PMCon, whether you were planning it or attending it or just observing, like there was always something to learn, even regardless of like your level of experience at PM, which blew my mind so much. Ayun, like hearing really seasoned project managers say na, oh, I learned something new today, or can I bring this framework to my org? And that really like, I don't know, like made my heart so happy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, kahit one of you na lang, what is your message to everyone who attended PMCon 2021? And what is your message to everyone who are here listening, who also want to further their impact? Chriselle?
Okay, so to everyone who attended PMCon, once again, we'd like to sincerely thank you for spending time with us last Saturday and for taking a chance on the event, even if it was a first time thing. Like what I said, it wouldn't be as insightful and successful if it weren't for every one of you who attended. So really, thank you so much for the support. And to everyone listening, I guess I'd say one thing that was emphasized in PMCon is that you shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes. You shouldn't be afraid of failure. What's important is that you keep on experimenting and adjusting. And this time that we're in, it's really hard. So let's not forget to be kind to ourselves, and don't forget to rest as well in the process. Yeah.
And you heard that, guys. Rest, please. My props, please rest. Wait, okay. So thank you so much, Chriselle, Joan, Bax, and Cassy for sharing with us your individual journeys and all about PMCon 2021. Truly, we students don't only learn inside their classrooms, but also learn a lot from each other. Just like how several students gathered for this event to learn from people who have the same goal, which is making an impact through their projects and initiatives. So we're coming to an end, but we'll get to the very fun part of the medyo loose na. Let's have a little Q&A, very quick lang. Parang fast talk, ganon. So all you have to say is the first word that comes to your mind. So how we're gonna do this is I'm gonna say the prompt, and then I'm gonna call someone and then call someone after you as fast as you can. So one word to describe how you're feeling right now, Anton.
Oh, ecstatic. Oh, Chriselle.
Pressure. Joan.
Grateful, Cass.
excited. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so what's your favorite room in MVP? You relate to Cass, she's never been there. So, Joan.
316, shout out to DevSoc. Backs.
Hindi ko alam room ng homework ko. 420. Chriselle.
Our room. Yes.
Okay. Let's pretend we know what they're talking about, Cassy. Okay, building
Nothing.
place you miss. So ito na naman, sorry Cassy can't join here, but building your place you miss most on campus. Chriselle.
Rizal Live and Jisu. Go, John.
New Rizal and Ibais. Vax.
Mateo D for sure. Hindi ko na ipapas kay Cassy.
Ateneo.
Sorry. Okay, so ito na. Start na tayo kay Cassy. Most memorable moment from PNCon 2021. Cassy.
The skeleton making of the format. Chriselle.
Talks and TikTok ni Bax.
TikTok ko. Joan.
Yung playlist. Oh my God, the playlist.
Okay, so describe the PNCon organizing team in one word, Joan.
Sabaw. Chriselle.
Powerful. Go, Cassy.
Labo pero clear. Back.
Mine is meme for sure.
Yes, okay. So last. Describe PMCon naman in one word. Anton, again.
Okay, trailblazer yan. Next, Cassy.
Memorable. Joan.
Oh, brings people together. Chriselle.
Ayoko mag one word. So, show-stopping, never before seen, amazing, wonderful, spectacular. Period.
Yes, for amazing synonyms. Google. Okay. So, and that's it. Thank you, Joan, Chriselle, Anton, and Cassy. Before we go, if you have any other events or reminders, please feel free to promote them to our listeners, or if you have any shout outs sa mga tropa nyo or sa mga other org members, go ahead. The mic is yours.
Sige, ako na muna. Naiya pa kayo. Shoutout na lang sa mga sure ako nanonood ngayon, syempre. I think some of my friends are watching. Hi, Paolo. Tama ba names niya? Paolo, Zach, and Kier. Thanks for watching. Alam ko tumatawa kayo ngayon. Thanks for tuning in. How about you guys?
I can go next. So, hello to everyone. Hello sa nanay ko, Mama, I love you. And hello to my friends who are watching. Hello to my besties, org mates, blockmates, friends, everyone. God bless, stay humble. Sana masarap ulam nyo. Okay, go Joan or Cassy.
Ay, sige. Shout out to DevSoc, mga friends ko dyan sa home orgs, na Portia, Dwayne, Yani, Casey, Joya, Amber, Sophia, lahat kayo. I love you all. Go, Cass.
Shout out to my to the OBTCC team and the Kwentuhang MVP team. Also, my besties, Fiona, Chachi, and Gavin, and hi boyfriend, hi Carla, yun lang. And shout out. Thank you guys for watching me. I love you all.
Nakita ko na sa comments siya ng live stream. Napaka-supportive boyfriend yan, Cass.
Pwede stop.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today, Chriselle, Joan, Baxter, and Cassy. We hope to see you here again soon, and I know we will, for more insightful conversations like this one. Once again, I am Fiona Florentino, and this has been Kwentuhang MVP.
Radyo, 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 katipunan. Blue Eagle kami di mapipigil